Hey guys. For people watching this back on the video recording, hi. How we doing? Mason here, Cardinal. I wanted to talk about all sorts of things, but instead of just sitting here and like talking into a camera, I thought it'd be kind of neat to discuss things like kind of like more even more freestyle than I normally do, and allow people to join in the conversation and kind of talk with me about stuff as I talk. So it's kind of like a live, kind of like a Q&A, but not really. I just I just want people to participate, so it's not just one dude's opinion, just randomly. And I'm going to sort cards and process cards while we do it. So something different. We're going to try it out and see how it goes, and if you guys like it. I'll probably go for maybe like an hour. It's 11:10 right now, and we'll go ahead and just do it for I don't know, an hour. We'll see what happens. See where we get. So I would love to have a conversation with you guys and just talk about just everything, but particularly about uh, these recent incidents with people in the collector space, particularly the card collector space, and the people that are, getting some hot water about certain things they're doing, and maybe some things that are not so kosher. Sorry, make sure everything sounds good and looks good. Yeah, cool. So, just hang out and talk, and let's just go and see what happens. So, let's talk about particularly things that I want to talk about is Alpha Investments, Rudy's, Flesh and Blood, special promo, like cult sale to his Patreon members, and all that kind of weird stuff. So we're going to talk about that, and like the ethics behind that, and some things that people were talking about, whether or not that was earned by him backing the game and making the game pop off and get popular. And then the Enlisted Leaf Ando situation, where basically StockX ran this dude in the ground and totally manipulated him at best and extorted him like at the worst. So we can talk about both those things, and then we can talk about other stuff after that. But I just wanted to see if you guys have been keeping up with that kind of stuff. If not, I'm just going to run through it anyways and talk about it. Hey, Courtney. Con was good. We had a good time last weekend. Stanley says, talking about Celebration's Ultra Premium Collection, nothing as far as delays. I think everything is good to go on the 22nd of October is when all that big, cool stuff releases for Celebrations. So yeah, if you guys aren't familiar, I guess we can touch on the Alpha Investment stuff first. I am a big fan of Rudy. I do watch a large portion of his stuff. So, I'm a fan, but this is in a weird territory where he's playing a weird game where he's using his power and, like, his channel as a way to, I don't want to say extort, that's kind of a weird, like, he's playing, like, it's kind of like the Saw movies, where Rudy's just, like, Jigsaw, and he's doing stuff, and we don't know, like, if it's like him's really pulling all the strings and it's just like all stuff that's planned, or like what's the point that we're doing here, or what's the end goal, or if he's just doing it because he can, So Rudy is obviously a big fan of Flesh and Blood, the TCG, and they are giving him a set amount of promos basically to sell for basically backing the game. And as like a thank you, and then he's gonna go and he has already sold these promos for $1,000 a piece, and it was to his patrons only, so it was already like gate kept in a community of only a certain people that could, supporters of him can buy, and then there's only a certain amount, and then whatever was not bought, if they didn't buy them all out, they're going to turn around and flip it and destroy everything that was not bought. So then that group, that community, that set of people has a monopoly of everything that's going on with that card, and basically like controls the market for that card. And whether what they do with it, that's like the idea is like what happens when a like sub 1,000 people have every single promo of this card and like controls the price in the market for all that. So kind of interesting concept, and a thing that is not, it's not exploitative. It's not like manipulating his audience, because Rudy is transparent about everything he does and talks about exactly what he wants to happen with what's going on. So it's kind of like hard to fault any of that. And so that's kind of like the weird thing with the Rudy Alpha Investments Flesh and Blood thing. I wanted to get your guys' opinion and that kind of stuff. Just saying hey to everybody that's coming in. Collector dudes, yeah, we're talking about just Andu and just, you know, just content creators in general. We can talk about anybody you want, really. We can talk about me if you want to. I'm definitely not Rudy level or Enlisted Leaf level, but it's all intertwined. It's all the same kind of stuff. Poke Gang, how we doing? Thanks for hopping on with me. You say booyah. He's always here. Like, appreciate you. Tina Marie's talking about agrees about StockX. Yeah, they destroyed that man. They totally exploited Ando and his user base for money, basically, and it was dirty. Yeah. Omnipoke, hey Omnipoke, what's up, man? Content creator is monstrous. Us reclusive nerds have no in real life friends, so these videos are all we have to feel involved. Yeah, right now that's definitely a thing that plays into it for sure. It's definitely all has to do with everything that is going on. Is the way the market is, the way the pricing is right now, the things with lockdown and COVID and all that. It all plays a role in this right now. So yeah, it's all very interesting stuff. Mason promo for Pokemon win. See, even that is like, that's like weird to me. Like, Pokemon is very, very protective of all that stuff, right? Oh, my Discord's popping off. Give me a second to get that quieted. Get that out of there. Yeah, so that's like any sort of like crossover with like Pokemon. Pokemon obviously is very, very selective about anything like that. Like the Mario and Luigi, like Pikachu stuff is like the only things they ever do with that kind of stuff. So that's like the most extreme of like bringing stuff from the outside world into the game. So yeah, I don't think Pokemon will ever do that kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously a smaller game like Flesh and Blood or MetaZoo. Rudy does a lot of things with MetaZoo, and obviously he sells kits and makes money off of that kind of stuff too. But yeah, it's kind of the way everything is super stonky, and just the money that's involved right now. It's bringing big companies like StockX and those kind of people to these content creators and saying, hey, you have a platform, you have a brand, you have an audience that we want to get into. And obviously with StockX and that whole break situation, that kind of shows how bad it can get. So it's kind of wild. Audrey, hi Audrey, on Facebook. Can't blame Rudy for using his position to try things like this. At least the card has no play value. True, yeah, it's purely like for this weird experiment that he's running, and whether or not it's going to do anything is going to be interesting. Like, it's going to be really cool. Like I said, I'm not like poo-pooing this or like saying I'm like totally against it, but obviously he's in a unique position that only he and maybe like the professor from my Tulare Community College are like the only like two people that could probably like pull this off convincingly. But obviously the professor is not, like, Rudy is about investing. He's about the money of the game. So this is totally something that he's down with. So it's definitely Something that only he can do. Let's see. David, have you been told you look like the comic book shop owner in the game Bully? I did not know. I will definitely look at that when I get a chance. Tina Marie says, Mason, did you watch the video that came out 1 or 2 days ago about PWCC and experience and evidence? I did watch that Rudy video. He didn't like give evidence. It's all just like, yeah, I saw this thing, which is like, if you don't like show the actual evidence, it's all hearsay still. And obviously PWCC had tons and tons and tons of auctions and stuff that they were doing. So it's kind of like, you know, was it just like a select incident, or like it only happened here recently, or if it was, you know, how far back and how pervasive is that stuff that they were doing. But yeah, obviously it's where there's smoke, there's potentially fire, and there's got to be at least some truth to it, right? But yeah, how pervasive it is, I don't know. Pokemon Zed, just stopping by to say hey. Appreciate you stopping in. Courtney Jackson over on Facebook, with the promo Rudy thing, the publisher could potentially shut that down. The general public could also boycott the card. Undesirable as not valuable. I mean, yes, but Flesh and Blood is already like supportive of this. They are very, yes, this is happening. Like, and the thing is, like, Rudy could have sold this card for like $1 if he wanted to, and be like, all right, let's see what happens. Let's see what this exclusivity, this limited stuff, how far it goes up. He could have done the complete opposite, right? It would have been almost a more interesting experience, or to see where all that goes. I'm not doing very much sorting, am I? I'm not getting very far with this, but I just want to like lay the groundwork, and then we'll kind of mellow out. I just want to read everybody's comments and get everybody's opinion too. Basic Trainer, how we doing? Good to see you. He says, playing devil's advocate, how much should we blame the influencers versus how much should we really blame the influenced? We make the final decision to enter into paywalls and product. We can say no. Correct. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, that's kind of like stuff that we need to be more aware of, and more like taking people to task about whether or not this is okay. Like the Ando situation, Endless Leaf situation, is not completely where he's in an innocent party, obviously. Like, he signed on to it. Dude could totally afford a lawyer and all that stuff to go over this kind of stuff, and an advisor for this kind of stuff, but I don't know if he did or not, or if maybe they just didn't worry about it or weren't concerned, or maybe they were told something and then something else happened, because the break itself was outsourced to the Coffee Breakers, which is a channel on Twitch. They have like a pretty small following. Like, I just hopped on there earlier. The VOD of the break is gone, from both Unlisted Leaf's channel and Coffee Breakers Twitch. And Coffee Breakers were like, they had like 11 people watching right now, and the dude was just sitting there because a lot of these break channels are just kind of like losing steam, and it's pretty obvious. Like, things are slowing down for the whole break scene. So it's just, you know, it was really cool when you could just all hang out, and, you know, product was hard to get, so you were kind of paying through the nose for the entertainment and the fun of getting stuff. But now it's kind of like, especially in a set like with Celebrations being like the hot thing, where there's only a couple cards that are even worth the cost. It's kind of like, what are we doing here, you know? So, but yeah. Mr. Gypsy's Fish, I'd pass on the Rudy card. It is a human card. He will be forgotten one day, and it's like with sports cards and why I don't collect them with humans. Humans can commit crimes and do awful things. Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, totally. Pokemon City's giving up on Metazoo. Too stressful, even trying to buy the product. Yeah, I mean it's stressful trying to get the product from distribution. It's kind of weird. It's kind of. I can do a whole thing, and we can have sit down about Metazoo. I want to see what's going on with Nightfall before I totally break it down and do any more than the video I already did on it. So, but yeah, it's Metazoo is it's a thing. It's a weird feeling thing. The collector dude, it sounds like he's determining the card's value himself. Yeah, I mean, if you put $1,000 price tag on it, obviously the people in that group don't want to sell it for less. So it's already going to be at that point. So it can only go up realistically, because if people don't want to take a loss, it has to go up. But there also has to be a demand from the outside that didn't get a chance to buy that stuff to go back in and buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the demand has to be there, and I don't know if it is. Because if you're into Rudy, you're part of the Patreon. I know it's closed down to a lot of people, and you know there's only so many spots, and you kind of limit it to be that way. It's on purpose. It's supposed to be a limited thing, so yeah. Good Behavior says Midday Mason is the best Mason. Yeah, I'm just kind of here by myself, so now's a good time where I can just be in relative quiet and kind of just have a conversation and talk about it. Java Kuma says, "Hey Mason, hope all is well." Well, yeah, we're good, man. Doing real good. Coldboard Empires, hey, appreciate you. Coffee Breakers has a 2.2 star rating on Google. Yeah, I know it's I think it is a physical store in Hollywood. I've never heard of them. It's kind of weird that I'm sure it was a money thing, but it's kind of just weird that you would just pick some random dudes to open this product, potentially, thousands and thousands of dollars of product. It's weird. They must have some ends with StockX, maybe. I don't know. What else we got here? Zachary on Facebook saying, "I'm all into celebrations over the nostalgia. Haven't bought Pokemon in forever." Yeah, I mean that's kind of the fun of it, man. Is throwback cards. They look really good. They look really awesome. It's a fun set. It's a fun casual, chill set that hopefully here will go down in price, and then it's going to be really super affordable and fun to just open casually. Brock says, "Am I mad with power yet?" Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's scary to watch this stuff, and me of all people, I'm not an innocent bystander in this at all. I have a very small channel, but I own a business. I have skin in the game. I sell products. I am on here for marketing purposes, but the content is, I enjoy making the content. I love talking about and having these kind of discussions, and this is I like going on other channels and talking about with other people and getting other ideas and opinions, and I have a unique perspective to give because I am a store and I buy and sell things all the time, and I deal with distribution and all that stuff. So it's kind of I'm in a unique situation. Nicholas says, "I've ordered Uber Eats a lot. Your thoughts on whether it's bad or not?" Uber Eats? Man's got to eat. So you're doing all right. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, "How we doing? Hope all is well." Yeah, man, we're doing good. All good. Just hanging out. Basic Trainer says, "In real life, company and corporations pay billions of dollars a year to market to us and buy their products. The blame never goes to the evil products like alcohol and gambling or creditors, because the party at fault is the consumer, not the company." Yeah, I mean, obviously they threw money at Ando in that situation with Celebrations opening, and yeah, that was basically, I guess they took it as buying that man's audience and his credibility and his likeness, because he was all over the internet advertising for it too. So yeah, it's they bought and sold that man, and then when they were done with him, they just left him to the wolves. It's a really really shitty situation. It sucks because Ando is, he's a good guy. He's definitely not like the worst channel out there that should be getting this kind of heat and hate. It's really ridiculous, and dude messed up for sure, and didn't do his due diligence. But it's really, really kind of sad. Color Empires have been waiting for Rudy's Patreon to open for a long time. Yeah, so the thing, if you don't know, like, the point of Rudy's Patreon, the point is to move through product. Like, he sells to his Patreon supporters and sells it for super cheap, cheaper than you can buy it anywhere else typically, and then he moves through that product to get rid of it. So that when something good comes along, like your master sets or whatever for Magic, that he's able to get pallets and pallets and pallets of this stuff because he's put in all the purchases from all the other big stuff that was not as crazy. So then he sells that stuff to his Patreon members to break even, basically. And then whatever's left of breaking even, he just squirrels away that product and just sits on it. That's like how he's building his wealth, and like obviously it's feeding into itself to a really insane level at this point. So that's how he has like a warehouse full of just sealed product, because he has the Patreon like backing and allowing him to purchase so much. And obviously the more you buy, the cheaper it is, and so he's winning the game through just pure throughput, So that's the deal with Rudy's Patreon. And again, very smart, very good idea. It's the exact same thing with if you want to talk about we can talk about PokeNav and his PokeRealm website, where it's like a subscription-based thing, like a Costco membership where you buy products super cheap. It's the same kind of idea where you're able to just move through this product so that you get more and more and more and build your position with distributors. That's the whole point. That's why this stuff exists. So Sentient, hey Mason, I live in Louisville and I'm looking to offload quite a bit of bulk. How's that process work? It's mostly like Sun and Moon and newer. Yeah, so you just bring it into the shop. We weigh it out. You don't have to count it or separate it or anything. I do ask that you take energies out because we don't buy energies. But yeah, we'll weigh it out and then we will pay you based on the weight of the cards. And it's a pretty quick and easy, accurate way to do it. A lot of people do a lot of work with that, and it's really annoying. Or it's a hassle for them when they do more than they have to. So just so long as it's not in sleeves and it's not full of energies. If you have a couple in there, it's whatever. But yeah, it's super easy just to give me your bulk. So it's cool. Audrey on Facebook. Metazoo really irks me. I'm interested in the game, but Mike is more interested in catering to collectors and license deals than actually getting players playing his game. His comment in the Rudy interview where he told me to play on Tabletop Simulator really rubbed me the wrong way and felt like he told me that he doesn't care if I get the cards. Audrey, you figured it out. Metazoo is a IP that Mike Waddell is building. It's not the TCG is an aspect of it, but it's not the end all be all of what he wants to build. The dude has way bigger aspirations than just a TCG. A TCG was just a starting point. That was like an in to build a culture around this property to make it part of people's lives. I'm sure he loves TCGs, and designing the TCG was a goal and was a thing that he wanted to do, but it's bigger than that. He's going bigger than that. There's more to it than just the TCG. And I think as we accelerate and Metazoo takes off even more than it is and goes into like the stratosphere of this kind of stuff, we're going to start seeing that this stuff build, and he gets in a situation where the TCG is like Pokemon, where it's just like a small little percentage, because he's making all his money on plushies and backpacks and deals with, like Vans and, and not Vans, like driving Vans, but like the shoe brand Vans, and like, backpacks and anime and a movie and a cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, all that stuff. That's where he wants to take MetaZoo. That's where we're heading with MetaZoo. The TCG was a starting point, and then we are. It's still there. It's still a funnel to get people interested in the IP of MetaZoo, but it's just a small chunk of it at this point. He's got way bigger plans for MetaZoo than just that. Jake's in here. Hey, Jake. Pokenomics. Why do you think some people in the Pokemon community feel entitled to free content and free service from content creators in the community? That's a hot take. That's not really a hot take, but it's a way of looking at it, right? Yeah. A lot of people out there, and I'm talking like small channels that don't get a lot of love, don't get a lot of advertising, don't get a lot of views, they don't make tons of money. I'm talking like smaller than me, like way smaller than me. I'm small, but people that have like 2,000 subscribers, brilliant people, very smart people, and put out amazing content, like so insightful and so like from a perspective that everybody would benefit from hearing, and they don't get that. So I can see where it wouldn't be a video if it didn't have phones ringing. All right, but yeah, it wouldn't be a situation where if they had like a bigger audience and like could make the ad revenue that they needed to like make it reach out there more and get more views on it, and like those are the type of people that probably should have the influence that these big people do, and they don't. So yeah, people that have these like really nice cool takes is really interesting. Sentient, I'm not ignoring YouTube chat. I'm just way behind because I have 86 people hanging out. So I'm getting a lot of stuff coming through in the multi-stream. So it's all good. It's all good. Just I'm working my way. But yeah, I mean, so those people to make content and make like the time that it takes in to make a larger channel and get the subs and kind of like build up that kind of momentum, they have to do stuff like maybe box breaks or Patreon stuff and just ways to make it worth the time, because otherwise it's kind of not worth the time. And it's got to be some sort of end result, because if they're not getting like the satisfaction of like interacting with people, like I said, I have 86 people hanging out with me. I'm not even doing anything. I'm not even doing what I said I was going to be doing. I may as well just like make this screen bigger at this point, because it's just me like talking at this point. So there's got to be some end goal or like a point, and you can't just like keep pumping out free content forever. So either they need to get compensated for their time, or they just need to just stop making content, because it doesn't make sense to put all this time and effort into it. So there's a lot of that, and there is a point to make behind that says they need to get something in return. It's a very weird place to be. Collector Dude says, I wish Ando made an announcement beforehand, and then again afterwards. It would have helped with the backlash, I feel. He also could have backed out, possibly. I know that like during the break, like he was. I didn't watch it because I knew I watched like 30 seconds of it. I saw like how they were ripping through the packs and like the weird glove thing and like all that. I was like, this is a disaster. This is really like not good. This is not an enjoyable thing. And yeah, if I paid 50, 60 bucks or whatever it was for this to just ultimately not get anything crazy, I would be upset. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Trying to catch up here, guys. Sorry. J Rock says I don't like celebrations at all. The card's so overrated. The reprints with some glitter on it. I think I get the thought behind the set, but still, yeah. I want to say that was probably the point from Pokemon is to like not make a. They don't want to like make a super expensive set because there's already like enough money and enough of that going on with everything that they didn't want to like double down and like make something that is super rare and hard to for somebody like to have fun with and collect. So obviously people are speculating on the sealed stuff, and that's where that's most expensive because that whole mentality of like keep sealed for forever and make forever monies, like that's the mentality that we are all living in right now. And yeah, that's the there just needs to be a flood of this stuff, and then there'll just be so much of that stuff that it doesn't make sense to keep sealed, and maybe that'll go away. I don't know if that's going to fix it or not. At this point, how do you fix a specialty set that is super expensive sealed, but the cards in it are garbage, a la like Champion's Path situation, where it's just everything's super expensive because it's got cool cards in it, but not like huge value otherwise, and your chances of hitting a value card is super super low. So like, what are we doing here? Like, why are these things so expensive? Other than just like, I don't know how to fix it. If celebrations and like the waves after it, we'll see what happens, right? We still are very early in celebrations lifespan, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. Again, trying to catch up, trying to do Poke Knowledge cards. Hey Mason, would love to do a live with you one day and chat all things Pokemon. Poke Knowledge, like, hit me up. Mason at cardinalgaming.com. Send me an email, please. I would love to talk to you. That goes for anybody. I'm on Discord in the Cardinal Gaming Discord. I have that. I'm in. I'm a lot all over the place. So, yeah. Let's just refresh the chat. I'm gonna go back down. See how we're doing. Yeah, Bronk, I didn't say that he like had a deal with Vans, but there was definitely like some shoes that had like Metazu print on it. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of that. It was actually really really early on. It's kind of weird. Yeah. StockX next block break? What are they doing? A different one? I didn't see it. Mason, Gypsy Fish says Mason started Patreon like Rudy has. I'll sub. I am not interested in that kind of business model. I wouldn't want a Patreon for just like give me free money, please, every month. I'd much rather you buy something from my store and support me that way. If you wanted to buy something from my store, I'd rather you do that than just like give me free money because for whatever reason. Let me ask you guys, like, why would you? What makes you like join a Patreon? Like, why? It's kind of like what Jake from Pokemon was saying, where like I want to just pay people money because I want to support them, right? or the smaller channels just to make some sort of income. But like, why would you start? Why would I start a Patreon? And why would people want to be a part of my Patreon? What could I offer that would like even make it something that you would want to do? It's kind of weird. Like I don't know about that. I do appreciate everybody like doing the likes and on this video, just so people get it out. So if you haven't yet, liking it would be appreciative. Keku, do you really Metazoo's get it? Do I think Metazoo's aesthetics are getting there? I do. I think if they made plushes, like they would definitely sell. I think if they like had that stuff. I mean, if they offered me like Metazoo plushies, I would stock them definitely. I definitely would. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the thing that we can all agree on is that there's no organic growth in Metazoo like there's for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and other IPs. Yeah, it's kind of like what I said in my video. How long can we keep saying that? Like, how long can we say that Metazoo is all hype and not people that are actually interested in it? At what point does hype just turn into genuine interest? Like, hype is interest. I wanted to do a video on hype and just talk about, like, what are we expecting out of, like, Pokemon or collectibles, and like people saying that they're disappointed in celebrations or whatever. Like, what would have been worth the hype for you, or what would have blown you away that wasn't already spoiled? Like, this is a weird situation where like we saw the cards like 2 months early, so like that was something that Pokemon had nothing to do with. I think like if we didn't have the spoils and stuff super early, that it probably would have been way more hype, and yeah, it would have been more satisfying for people, I think. But yeah, it kind of takes the wind out of the sails if you see all the cards that are like the hitters really super early. It's like, what? You know, it's like, what's the point? Team Trevish, I'm assuming because YouTubers go through outside sources for viewer payments rather than directly from YouTube. So, the way people get paid on YouTube is through what's called Google AdSense, because Google owns YouTube. The same thing that, like, if you have Google running ads on your website, they'll pay you in Google AdSense. So, it's the same kind of thing. You're getting paid for your advertising, so you get money through the same platform that you would through Google or whatever other way that you get paid money. So it's from Google, which is from YouTube basically, so it is kind of like it's just like a direct deposit. So yeah. Basic Trainer says, I would never join a Patreon for exclusive content or product. In my opinion, it's a bad way to spend your money. There's enough free information and product to get out there on your own. Yeah, yeah, totally makes sense. I understand that. Hey, Preston. Thanks for watching. Brazil Bobbit's asking about Fusion Strike. Is it super limited wave 1? No. It is, I think, like 70% of what a normal standard set is. At least from my main guys that I'm getting from. I know that some places are still saying that they're super limited and they can't get product, especially on release. Which may be true. I don't know. It's kind of like the same thing where I don't have the Lance Charizard and Dark Sylveon boxes, but a lot of distributors on like the West Coast got them. Like, I ordered stuff from Magazine Exchange, which is on the West Coast, and they sent me a couple of those boxes. Very small amount. Like, they're not my main distributor, so I got some through them. So it's weird how there's these like, little pockets of product, and some places get them, some places don't. It has everything to do with the shipping problem in this country right now, and just product is not able to move around like it normally is. Andrew Lopez, I think people like like Patreon because it makes them feel like a part of the channel and whatnot. Oh, not like whatnot, but like you're just saying whatnot. Plus, they get to talk to the channel creator and stuff like that just for having the inside scoop. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's huge. And definitely somebody like Pokenomics has an amazing Patreon. Like, Jake and Dan, like, I joined the Patreon. And, like, the live chat that they did was so, like, mind-blowing to me as somebody that's, like, very up on this stuff and the stuff they were talking about and the data that they were putting out and just the information and the work and the research they put in. No one's doing that kind of content at all. No one's talking about that at all. It is so exclusive to that Patreon, that channel. And Jake and Dan in that Patreon are so analytical and so uniquely wired to be that way and share that kind of content and be bringing that kind of stuff up and having that in their mind all the time that, yeah, it's insane. The cost of that Patreon is too low, if you ask my opinion. If they're putting out that kind of product all the time, that Patreon is too cheap. So there you go, Jake. There's a little plug for your Patreon on my channel. So, but yeah, so like something like that, it has to have something extremely unique to draw me in and to make it worth it to me. So, and like Pokenomics, and I'm sure there's other, like Rudy's obviously is a huge plus of Patreon. Pokenav and the Poke Realm does have genuine value and has genuine benefit to joining that. Outside of their benefits that they're getting, it's very much a self-fulfilling and double-sided relationship that benefits both. It's a win-win for everybody. Poker Bros Kentucky, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for hopping in, hanging out. Espion 200 says, I don't support anyone on Patreon because I don't have disposable income. But I assume it's just like people seeking out Patreon to fund their art. Yeah, it's just a way. I know a lot of people that have Patreon just like to supplement because the ad revenue on YouTube is so low, and or maybe they just don't have the exposure or whatever normally, or have like a platform big enough that, or like brand deals and stuff like that to make it worth their time otherwise without a Patreon. So Patreon is totally valid, totally a good way to drum up support from people that do actually want to support you. And doing stuff like lives and stuff like super chats and stuff like that. I think I have super chats on here, but it's like, why would you give me a super chat? I just want you to hang out, and if you want to buy something, go to the website. Sagar's in here, Royalty Gaming Pokemon. Mostly just to support channels, I suppose. If you offer some sort of benefit or entertainment, the support goes a long way to keep it going. Definitely, like, if you guys don't know, Sagar at Royalty Gaming Pokemon goes live like every night and does pack breaks for Pokemon and all kinds of TCGs like Yu-Gi-Oh, Metazoo, that kind of stuff. And he is genuinely entertaining. Like, I watch him. A lot of people go in there and watch him. He is just super upbeat, super positive, super fun live just to watch, and he's killing it and doing a great job. And yeah, I'm sure he's buying things, and yeah, he's marking them up, and he has a Discord and people are a part of, and you can support him in other ways. But that's okay because you're getting entertainment, you're having fun, you're a part of that community, and that's huge for his branding and his channel, and he's obviously doing very good with that. So for something like that, for a breaker or something like that, it's super important. But for every royalty gaming that's doing great, I'm sure there's a ton of pack breakers and just other content creators that just will, as the viewership goes down, and trust me guys, the views on this type of content is way off from where it was like a month ago. It's so much less. Like every month it goes down. and it's getting to where, okay, what do I want to do with my channel, or what do I want to do with the audience that I have? 17K people is not nothing. It's definitely a branch that I need to foster, and I feel obligated to keep talking about stuff, and obviously people are here for a reason and want to hang out and desire my opinion for whatever reason and think it's interesting. So I'm trying to think of other ways to make it worth the time and make it rewarding for people that subscribe and stuff like that. So I want all that to just to change things as the views get less and less on just general, like, let's talk about what Fusion Strike's doing, and let's talk about what Evolving Skies prices are doing, because I can't do those videos every week. It's just, there's no point to covering that stuff just in that kind of way. So, just trying to branch out and do other things, do other content. I would love to do just like you guys know what Card Shop Life is. I don't know if you guys would be interested in stuff like that, where I just basically strap a GoPro to me and just show you what it's like to run a store and do stuff in the store. I don't know. I got a lot of different ideas and things that are kind of half baked, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah. Bronx talking about Pokenomics stream last night with Wolf of 10th Street. Yes, it was very enjoyable. They are my favorite things to watch, just in the background. And later on, when I'm driving home, I'll put them on 1.5 times speed and go through them, just because I value their opinion. Sean Stuff says, I tried my best to stay away from spoilers for Celebrations, so when my brother and I opened, it was exciting. But now, almost a weekend, it's blah. Yeah, I mean, I have trade-ins for Celebrations. Here's my tray of Celebration stuff. It's getting to whether I'm just all right, here's all the stuff in the normal set, and they're in team bags, and it's okay, here they are. And I'll eventually just have a whole box of this stuff for all the cheaper cards that nobody wants, and it's just how that set's going to go down. Vince Dog says, please don't stop. Don't give in to the hate. No, it's not about the hate or anything. It's just if I'm not getting ad revenue or the response on the website and stuff to continue the channel, it's not I don't like the channel, or I don't, or even shy away from that, any sort of controversy or talking about anything. Anybody could say anything right now in this live chat and it'd be fine, and I would address it. I'm not going to skip it over if somebody wanted to say something to me. But that's a good thing about being here on my own channel, is that you guys are here because you want to talk to me and share your opinion with me. So, yeah. Basic Trainer says, I won't ever say I'm entitled to free entertainment. I will simply follow the free entertainment, and those with exclusive content have the right. Yeah, I mean, we all make decisions and have channels and things, and there's tons of people vying for content and putting stuff out there, and there's some channels I don't watch as much anymore, and there's some channels that I exclusively watch because I gain something out of it. And it's not just all just Pokemon TCG stuff, or alpha investment stuff, or whatever, which is, I do watch everything that Rudy puts out, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting diluted, and things are getting less it's kind of why I didn't do a break of Celebrations, because everybody did, and we've already seen all the stuff, and there's videos of Celebrations openings a month before the set even came out. So it's just why do I want to just break the stuff just to have it on video on my channel? I could have, but I don't know. If it's not new or exciting, or something I at first I always do with the pre-release stuff, I always do breaks of a couple boxes just to see the new product. And it's cool because I'm like the only person out there that has it, right? Because only, in theory, only card stores should have that product at that time. So it's kind of exciting. But for Celebrations, it's just a standard release. Well, not standard release, a hard release date. I say hard, but it's not, because people got early, and it just wasn't. It didn't make sense for me to break it. It's just kind of weird. The Old Card Shop. Hey guys, I'm late, but I'm here. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I mean, Sean's stuff's talking about prices and stuff, and yeah, it's Sean's stuff. Are you saying that Snorlax is $48 is high or low, or is it finally where it should be? I'm interested in seeing where you're at. Vince Duck says, I hate giveaway peddling. I never trust that anybody is going to win. Yeah, I don't really do giveaways either. I have done giveaways, but it's just kind of like that one person that wins is benefiting and everybody else is kind of like, wow, that sucked. So it's like, what? There's not really a good way of doing something like that where everybody gets something from it, Mr. Gypsy's Fish, have you opened a MetaZoo box? Yes, I opened a Kickstarter box. It's on my channel. I got 2 Mothman out of it. Mothmans? And that box is like, at the time, was like a $600 box. And again, they send them to me for free. So I opened a box and I sold the other 2. And of course, it's like what is it, $7,000 now? Something ridiculous. Whoops. Guess I could have kept it sealed, but yeah. Oh goodness, the chat just like shifted. Okay, cool. Old Card Shop is asking, sorry if you already mentioned this, but how are you feeling about Celebration so far? I don't think they printed enough. They could never print enough. And people... Guys. Pokemon prints a ton of product. What was it? 3.7 billion cards last year that they sold? If you assume, like, 80% of those were actual, like, booster boxes. You know how many booster boxes that is? You're talking, like, hundreds of thousands. I'm going to actually do the math. Let's do real-time math here. 3.7 billion. So that means that there's 10 cards in a pack. If they printed that many. Okay. Okay. The computer calculator doesn't go out that far. 100,000 million. Okay. Yes, it does. Just barely. It just barely does. Okay. Sure, I already have to divide that by 10. So there's 370 million booster packs. Let's just say 350 million booster packs, just for the fun of it. 350 million booster packs. Divide that by 36. Because there's 36 booster packs. That's 10 million booster boxes sold last year. Again, this is all just rough. 10 million booster boxes of standard product. This stuff is not, it's not rare. It's not a matter of printing enough. It's a matter of people want to open this and people want to buy this stuff and they're going to open it. And until that just goes away, you can't print enough. Because if you print enough, the prices would go down. And then more people would want to open it. And it's just like, they could print forever and ever and ever in this current environment. And it's not going to help it because prices go down, more people want to open. and it just keeps going. Like, there's no way to like fix this. It's really, the hype just has to go away. Like, all this stuff that is like helping and having a good time, and all this talking about it, it's just like there's no way to stop it. They can't print enough. It's physically impossible for them to print enough. Yeah. Andrew Mack says your single prices are good. Yeah, our single prices are very good. Unknown Air says, in my opinion, they all have bathrooms to fill. Mason holding back product and feeding FOMO seems the new norm, whilst everyone blames scalpers is inconvenient. Do not or don't believe what you're told. Collect what you love. Yeah, so obviously the environment that we're in right now is very much the haves and have-nots. People that have product and the people that don't have product. And when you're in a situation like that, the people that have product don't want to give away that product cheaply. It's not a healthy thing. It's not a healthy thing for this game. It's not a healthy game for the hobby. But as a business, that is what's happening. So whether you think it's stores just holding product for ransom, which basically you could argue that we are, there's no way to fix it. Again, if the prices went down, more people would just buy the cards. We're in a weird state. I'm way up in the chat, and I'm going to go to the bottom because I want to see like what's up and how you guys feel about that statement. Captain Zach's in here. What's up? You make wild videos, man. Like you got some hot takes, and it's enjoyable. It's super fun. The leaf got raked. Oh my goodness. Brock, smash likes, thanks. Rudy definitely pumps. Of course he pumps. SM Pratt pumps. SM Pratt's a weirder situation that's not as cut and dry. He's definitely like super knowledgeable and like deserves that knowledge and that information. Yeah. Again, I see you guys. I appreciate you guys commenting. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Say here, what's up? 10 million boxes and people still want more. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not on a 2-minute delay. I'm like on a 10-minute delay because I am trying to go through chat and like I want to address everybody because I appreciate everybody hanging out and being in here. How dare you make money? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I like obviously like Unknown's Air's like in here, like, and like I want to have this discussion. Like I'm feeling froggy. I want to get into it. I want to see what's up. Like if you don't like stores doing this, like tell me what's up. Like let's hash it out. Let's have a conversation. I want to go for like to like let's do it to like 12:30. So another like 20 minutes. Just to like, I want to just have this real quick and see what's up. So tell me like you're like, let me know how it really is. Jimmy's Fish, I do not have a personal card collection. I do have some cards that I'm holding just because I think they're cool and maybe one day they'll be worth something. I love the Stained Glass Bird Trio promo. That is my favorite promo, and I think it's underrated, criminally underrated. I think that card is one of the most beautiful cards ever printed. I think it has definite throwbacks, vibes to like Ancient Mew and stuff like that. Where's the keel at? Rainy Day Collectibles, where you at? Yeah, it's just... One's asking about my thoughts on unenlisted leaf. In short, Endo got donked pretty hard by StockX, and we are all upset at the wrong person. There we go. What's up, Jake? What's the question? Why do you think people have a problem with you selling for higher prices than eBay? That is an excellent question. Why do I think that? Probably because I put out the persona that I am pro the little guys. I'm pro, like, the people that watch my stuff, which I very much am. Like, I appreciate everybody that watches my stuff. I appreciate just, for the longest time, this hobby was just like me hanging out by myself. It felt like. Or with like a small group of people. I know PokeTubers talk about this all the time. And now we have like a huge audience of people that are just like, it feels very like close-knit and very like personal. And like we're all hanging out, having a good time. And it's fun. And I can see where people are like, hey, we're friends now. We like the same stuff. Hook me up. And it's just, it's not how it works. Like, if you're buddies with somebody, do you walk into their restaurant and expect free food? If they own a restaurant, are people just like... And I guess that really isn't a question, like, higher than eBay. So... Poor little guys, I'm 6'3". Yeah. Yeah. The thing is just, like... There's nothing holding me to saying, like... I have to sell at market price, or I have to sell at whatever price. I don't have to be the lowest price in existence across the entire internet, across thousands of LGSs and thousands of other businesses trying to undercut each other. Businesses don't exist in that way, especially local small businesses that have a community around them. It's not sustainable. You would not be able to survive against Amazon, eBay's, and stuff. The things that make this alluring is like my services that I provide and like the atmosphere that my store gives and like the dialogue that I'm able to have with people and sit down and talk to. And I don't want to say that like that is built into the price, but there's nothing that says that I have to be equal to the lowest price available. And if I ran the business that way, I'd be just like Rudy and Poke Realm and all that stuff where I'm burning through product and getting more and more and more. But at a point, you spend days and days and days shipping out orders. So you're just like, have to hire more employees to ship more orders. So I can hire more employees to ship more orders. And I get more product to ship more orders. It's feeding itself into a way that, yeah, your business is exploding, but when all this stuff cools down, my business will still have to be here. My business will still exist, and it's very much like ride the wave, enjoy it while you can, kind of mentality. But that has to exist in a bubble where my business can't get so big where it collapses on itself when all this goes back to normal. I guess that's like the answer. I could just keep going forever and building my business forever and selling more and more product forever. And I understand that people don't want to pay more than you can buy it on eBay or whatever. I get it. That's totally fine. Like, I am not upset at people saying, yeah, our prices are a little high. Yeah, I know. I set them, so I know what the prices are, and I know that they're high. Higher. They're not high. They're just higher than the absolute lowest you can buy them. It's just silly. It's an argument where we're buddies, so where's my hookup? And it's just not. That's just not how it works. I just can't. You can't build a business that way. Like, if I opened all my Celebrations product and I sold the packs for what they were going for on, like, TCG Player, which is more than what the Seal product is going for, Would that make me a good guy? Does it make me a good guy all of a sudden because I'm selling them for cheaper and like hooking you guys up? I would say no. I would argue that that is not. It's not a sustainable business. That's not the point of. And again, it'd be like me pack breaking stuff, and that takes time and effort and money. It's just like it's. No matter which way I went about it, it would be equaling to a more business that would just, at the end of the day, be unsustainable to a point. So. Jamming Hayes, make more weapons, blacksmiths. You cooked those hot dogs, chef. No complaints. Please pass the objects now for free. Yeah, exactly. If I'm making the hot dogs myself and dictating the price, I don't know. There was an analogy that I wanted to make, but I'm not going there. I'm not going to do that. Basic Trainer says, what do you genuinely believe would happen if everyone decided to not pay above 5% MSRP? It would get to a point where, like, I feel like Celebrations is, like, at that point. And people really do get in a situation where every new release, it's like a standoff. Where it's just like, all right, singles prices are tanking, and so product is more expensive than what you can reasonably expect to make, and product is this price, and people want it for this price because the stuff in it is worth this price. It becomes like a standoff situation where something has to give eventually, and it's the pressure of, hey, I have bills to pay this month. I have to sell this. I can't trickle this out for whatever the price is. So something somewhere has to break down and lower the price. Whatever the economy situation is, if you're a little dude in your basement selling cards, you eventually get to the point where, well, I just need to get rid of this stuff. And it's that guy that sets the lower price. And then that becomes the precedent price. And then people race to the bottom. In normal situations. Like if all this product was unlimited and everywhere, the prices would be able to go back down and just like normal. Where booster boxes are $90 on eBay, they're $110 in my shop, and that's just the way things have always been. But it's not. And again, in the atmosphere, in the environment that we're in right now, that is not possible. Because again, if prices went down, I'd sell more products, and it would just keep going. So we never get there. I feel like I'm talking in circles now, so I'm sorry if you get my point. I think you guys understand. Zamator says, do you have any staff cards since you're a store owner? I don't personally have staff cards. I give them to like my employees that run events and people that do that. They all have staff cards. I try not to Unknown Air, I don't know if you're referring to somebody else when you say keyboard warrior. It's not that hard to understand why there's no product before Mason is distributors. Must be hard for small retail. I don't envy the struggle and must be frustrating. Yeah, and I talked about I'm in Discord groups, and I shared like the pricing list from a distribution company of people that had leftover Celebration stuff and what the prices that they were selling it for. You could get like I think what they were I think they're like Dragapult boxes or something for like $40 from a distributor. And it's like, stores like me that is established, I'm okay. I have my stuff, and I got it for the regular price. It is those small stores that get screwed over. It is those small stores that, in order to have stuff on their shelves, have to buy that stuff and be part of the game that way because they don't have the background that I do and the longevity in the game that I do. So it is those guys that get screwed. It is the small guys just getting started that have to pay those stupid prices from distributors that don't have those established prices. So when people say, hey, I want to open a store, I say, now's not the time, because you will get screwed. The old car shop says, distributor raised price on me, big time. Yeah, if you want more product than what you're allocated, you have to pay for it. You will definitely pay for it. G5 says, I think it's so funny that people believe shops should price below market value. There's a balance to it. I mean, yeah, the old car shop, I would be interested in which distributor you're talking about. And if they were like your allocation that you had from release, or if they were like extra stuff that you wanted to buy. Bubba Squad, hey San. If someone truly hates you, then they can just leave and put their money elsewhere. And capitalism will decide if your store lives or dies. Right. If my store was in a situation where I had to sell my product, I would sell it cheaper. That's is what it is. Yeah. I am very fortunate that we are not in that sort of situation. Canada, they're doing that in Canada too. Tina Marie says distributors are raising prices. Some of that could be for shipping issues as well. Uh, the longer something has to sit at a warehouse or a trucking distribution place or on a ship from China, all that's costing money and sitting there. And yeah, that costs that business money. And before, those shipping companies were taking it all on the chin. But yeah, obviously it's now that stuff has caught up, and they're like, yeah, we can't afford to operate if we have to sit in port for 2 months before we get and dump our load and go back and pick up more stuff. It's not, we are seeing the repercussions of the shipping delays. Man, I really thought we'd get some spicy stuff in the chat. This is kind of, you're all supportive of me, and I don't know. I'm not used to that. What's going on? Saying have a good day too, buddy. I appreciate you. We'll talk later. There's fees associated with having a business and taxes. Oh, don't talk to me about taxes. Don't do it. We could all talk about tax. I mean, that's a whole, like, that's a YouTube channel that's should be made. It's just like, hey, what kind of game stores taxes looking like? What do they gotta pay? It'd be wild. What do you think about local stores that only sell single cards and make video how they open 1K and more ETBs? Opening sealed product, even at the prices that we get them for, is bizarre. And I don't know how they make money. You would have to dump everything super, super early. And like have that stuff for pre-order and fill it, because yeah, that sounds terrible. Nashville taxes are 9.75? What? That's unbelievable. That is wild. store's opening seal does make sense. It does not. That's why, like, when Danny Phantom just says that he's opening stuff for store singles, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Then I remember, oh, he's Danny. Oh, he's just a madman. So, I love Danny, by the way. Daniel is the realest person you could ever see. Max Fire says, I asked you some questions on Facebook, and I was wondering why you were ignoring me. Yeah, sorry, I had to go to YouTube because the chat and Streamlabs was lagging. Too bad. Sorry. But you're here now, so if you want to ask some questions, throw it in there. I got like 5 minutes. I'll wrap it up here. Let me go back to Scott Michael. Or Mitchell, I'm sorry. Scott Mitchell. I don't think your prices are much higher than the average eBay solds, and when you factor in costs for personnel, premises, other overheads, it makes it more justified. I always like to support LGS. I don't like fully agree with that. I think that is a very weak argument. And saying like LGSs have to pay all that overhead, so they have to charge more. They don't have to charge more because of that. Like, there's other ways stores can do that stuff to make money to support their business and have it be profitable. Some places want to like pigeonhole themselves and limit themselves into what they carry, either because they don't have the knowledge or they don't want to hire somebody that has the knowledge to do other things. Diversity is the strongest thing a store can do, especially right now, and especially when you can't get product. Like the card store, like honest to goodness card stores that only sell cards, I don't think it's a viable business model anymore. Just isn't. Not with TCG Player, not with eBay, with the way they sell singles, and these big, again, like StockX and Channel Fireball and stuff, getting behind stores and innovating in an industry that hasn't had innovation in like 40 years. And that people that still use price guns and stuff in their glass cases for singles. We're moving on from that kind of mentality, guys. We're moving away from that, and it's been a long time coming. So, yeah. Public God, you said you mean to ask, what do you think of Danny Phantom's video on celebrations? I believe titled "Stop Before You Invest in Celebrations." I am behind a little bit on watching videos. I know that's like only a couple days old. I'll have to go and watch it. I was gonna watch it, and then Pokenomics went live, and I was like, well, everything has to stop for that. Jake is on like the top of my list of things that I watch. MDS, MDB, haven't been in an LGS in the past year due to high price and demand. I haven't been so lucky every once in a while to find it at retail at MSRP, but it sucks how rare it is. Yeah, and it sucks that for everybody that walks in my store and says, hey, and there's been plenty of people that say, hey, I don't want to pay these prices, and, they just stop coming because they know that that's just how things are priced here. So I totally get that. I understand. But things are out there, and people are out there that just want the luxury of not having to worry about driving around to Targets and whether or not the stock person from MJ Holdings stocked that day, as super weird. Sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. I'm not very good. Yeah, I understand. I understand that LGSs are pricing things that leave a bad taste in people's mouths. I totally get it. I understand. But just like your local, I don't know, shoot, Best Buy. Things are more expensive on Best Buy than they are on Amazon, especially if you walk into a Best Buy. The luxury of being able to walk into a store and get that immediately than having to wait 2 days. Well, on Amazon, and things are cranking up to almost, shoot, 4 or 5, sometimes a week for shipping from Amazon, just depending on what you're getting. There is a price to pay for that, and it's always been that way. It's always been, we call it the here and now tax. Video games are priced that way. Game stores, everybody prices that way. You got to make it worthwhile to have a store, or else I would just sell everything online. If I wanted to be the rock bottom of prices and just turn and burn through stuff, I would shut the store down, I'd close the storefront of it, and just make this entire thing a shipping operation and a warehouse situation, and I would just do that and just turn and burn. I am to the point where I'm established enough where I could do that if I wanted to, but I want to do and have a game store, much to Zach, my business partner's chagrin. My dream was not to ship packages all day long. It was to have a store and talk to people and have people come in and play. So, all right, just about done here, guys. A couple more last seconds. Any things you want to say? Snorlax, is there any more work headaches when official Pokemon League play returns than running a normal tournament for store owners? Yeah, they have come out recently and said that it's probably going to return first part of next year in official capacity, and that they'll be doing mask requires, and they have to be the entire time, and you can't eat. They want eating to be away or in a different area than the play area. Yeah, they're being justifiably and understandably, and again, we require masks in our store, even though it's not like the law of the land at the moment. Yeah. So they do have like stuff like that going on, and those kind of rules already in place going forward next year. Mad Modelo, StockX is sketch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people can get behind, you open up their website and they have like just ultra like hipster supreme wearing like sneakerheads and people on their website just on the front page. And it's like, yeah, this is a website for just flipping and scalping things. Yeah, cool. It's just, it is. Mavadillo again. Do people really expect game stores just to get taken advantage of and sell products to the liars who turn around and scalp? I mean, no. Yeah, it's just kind of a thing. Okay, I am gonna probably end it there, guys. Appreciate you guys, like I said, hanging out. I did not process a single card. I should probably do better about that. But I would much rather do this and have fun and talk to you guys, because especially with stuff like I can't talk about influencers and like content creating with myself without it looking weird and being like super manipulative. So like I said, appreciate you guys watching, hanging out. 90 of you guys still here, hanging out. Before you go, if you would, hit the like button so people see this, and we'll see what the view is like. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. One more question with Brian Rossi here. Do you have any type of rewards program for return customers? Yes. Even the website is has a reward system with it. So yeah, we do a point system where you get points for every $1 you spend, and then you can use those points on store credit or money, cash, and stuff like that, or cash off of the product. So a lot of people that buy like thousands of dollars with us, save hundreds of dollars because of the amount that they spend. So the reward system is definitely super cool and super fun. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll talk to you guys in a